Welcome to Flores. I think it's not very common to think about visiting an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean during the winter. But it was absolutely worth it, much more than I ever expected. Flores has easily landed in my personal top 5 destinations in the world. Flores, or by its full name Ilha das Flores, is one of the 9 islands of the Azores. It is the westernmost island of the Azores and the same time the westernmost point of Europe. The island group belongs to Portugal, which means the official language is Portuguese. However, most people also speak English because tourism plays a very important role on the island. The island has around 3,500 inhabitants. Most of them work for the government in agriculture or tourism. Many locals leave the island during the winter and move to the mainland Portugal for work. They usually return summer when most tourists visit Flores. During winter, only a few hotels are open. Mostly you can rent holiday homes, but there are not many of them either. Most restaurants are also closed. We only found 2 that were open, but they were actually very good. There are only a few shopping options, but you can still get everything you need to prepare a fresh meal. Flores is a destination for everyone who truly loves nature. What this island has to offer is absolutely incredible. For this trip, I brought 2 cameras with me. I used the Nikon Z8 mainly for photography and the Nikon ZR for videography. To stabilize my footage, I brought the DJI Ronin RS4 Pro gimbal, which I used for most of the moving shots. Not long ago, I also bought a slider from Electron, the Slider 1V3, combined with the Flex Tilt Prime Head, and I was looking for something small and motorized that I could easily use while traveling. To be honest, I'm not 100% satisfied with it yet. It is a bit too heavy and the app feels quite slow to use. It works, but it's not perfect for travel in my opinion. As a tripod, I've been using a Peak Design travel tripod, the carbon version, for many years now. I absolutely love this tripod. It's almost indestructible, very lightweight, and in about 90% of the situation it's more than stable enough. I also brought several filters with me. I used the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon Edition ND filters, both the ND2-5 and the ND6-9. I've owned both since they were released, and in my opinion they are absolutely worth the money. In addition, I had a CPL filter from Polar Pro and the mist filter from Nisa with me. For lenses, I brought quite a selection. The Nikon 20mm f1.8, the 14-24 2.8, the 24-70 2.8, 70-200 2.8, and the 135mm Plana f1.8. I also brought my DJI Mini 5 Pro drone with me. By the way, if you want to fly a drone on Flores, you need to register every single flight in advance. You have to submit the time and the exact location where you plan to fly. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. There is an online portal where you can register everything, and in the most cases the confirmation comes almost instantly. If you plan to fly on weekend, I recommend submitting your request at least 1 day in advance, just to be safe. But yeah, enough about the gear. let me show you my top 10 highlights on the islands of Flores. It was the first highlight we visited and also one of my absolute favorite highlights on the island. It is located close to the village of Faixa Grande on the west coast of Flores. The waterfall drops around 90 meters straight down and it ends in a nature pool below called the Poco. It is surrounded by steep green rock walls, lush vegetation and the very typical Azores landscape. Especially after rainfall, the waterfall becomes very powerful and incredibly impressive. From the parking area near to Faixa Grande, a short hiking trail leads to the waterfall. The walk takes about 10 to 15 minutes and the path is easy to walk, but it can be slippery, so proper shoes are definitely recommended. The waterfall is really accessible and there is no entrance fee. The nature pool at the base of the waterfall is perfect for swimming when the weather is good, although the weather temperature is usually quite cold. If you visit Flores, I highly recommend coming here early in the morning or late afternoon. It is much quieter and the light is especially beautiful. It is an absolute dream. Even the way to get there is fantastic, leading through a jungle-like forest. But the place itself is truly breathtaking. This is not just a single waterfall. It is a whole valley with countless waterfalls flowing down steep rock walls. All these waterfalls end in a large natural lake surrounded by intense green vegetation. Because of the numbers of waterfalls, the landscape feels almost a fairy tale-like. Despite being easy to reach, the atmosphere is very calm and secluded. Light fog is very common here and makes the waterfalls look even more mysterious. This is without a doubt one of the most impressive natural places in Azores. It is perfect for photography, nature observation and short hikes. Swimming is possible, but due to the cold water temperature, it is unrecommended for the brave. This place is especially popular by hikers and nature lovers. Being here really feels like standing on another planet. From this viewpoint, you look down on two impressive volcanic crater lakes. Caldera Negra appears dark and very deep, while Caldera Comprida is longer and often slightly lighter in color. Both lakes lie inside steep, circular volcanic craters and are surrounded by dense vegetation. This is a very typical Azores landscape, with deep green colors, moss-covered slopes and frequent fog or clouds that move in very quickly. The atmosphere is usually calm, mystical and very untouched. On clear days, the views are absolutely spectacular, with strong contrast between water, rocks and plants. The viewpoint is easy to reach and usually only requires a very short walk from the road. Because it gets extremely dark here at night, this area is also very well suited for astrophotography. This viewpoint offers a wide view over the Valle de Faixa, a green valley shaped by agriculture. From here you can see open fields, grazing areas, traditional stone walls and surrounding hills and rocks formations. On clear days, the views even reaches all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. The environment is very calm and relaxing. It is a typical Azores landscape with intense green colors and constantly changing light conditions. The place is especially atmospheric when low clouds move through the valley or when soft sunlight hits the landscape. The viewpoint is easy to reach by car and from the parking area it's only a short walk. This is a viewpoint located above a village of Ponta Delgada on the north coast of Flores. From here, you have a panoramic view over the harbor of Ponta Delgada, the protected bay, and the Atlantic Ocean. You can see fishing boats follow the coastline and on clear days look far out over the open sea. The atmosphere is calm and maritime, with a strong connection to the ocean. It is especially beautiful during sunrise in calm weather and when visibility is clear. The viewpoint is easy to reach by car and usually only requires a very short walk. It is located on the north coast of the island, close to Ponta Delgada. From this viewpoint, you have a wide view over Baía de Alem, a quiet and sheltered bay surrounded by steep green cliffs. The deep blue water of the Atlantic creates a strong contrast with the lush vegetation of the island. The atmosphere here is very calm and close to the nature. Often, the only sounds you hear are the waves and the wind. When the weather is calm, the sea almost looks like a mirror, and the curved coastline becomes clearly visible. Morning and evening are the best times to visit when the light creates warm colors across the landscape. The viewpoint is easy to reach and perfect for a short stop during an island tour. But it is important to mention that the cliffs here are very high, there is hardly any protection, so you should always keep safe distance and stay away from the edge. There is a striking elevation on Flores and one of the lesser known viewpoints on the island. It is located in the interior of the island and offers wide views over the hilly volcanic landscape that is so typical for Flores. From here, you can see green pastures, volcanic formations, and on clear days, even parts of the coastline. There is a defined by silence and very natural atmosphere. Fog and changing clouds are common and often creates a mystical mood. When the weather clears, beautiful panoramic views open up and give a great impression of the island's diverse topography. Pico do Sete Pés is easy to include in an island road trip, and it's perfect for visitors who want to experience more authentic and quiet side of Flores. Simply wow! Miraduro do Ihem Furado is located along the coast and offers an impressive view of Ilha Furado. Ilha Furado is a small offshore rock island with a natural hole shaped by the power of the ocean. This rock window is one of the most iconic coastal sites on Flores and perfect example of the Atlantic's strong erosion forces. From the viewpoint, you have a wide view over the ocean and the rugged coastline. Steep cliffs, crashing waves, and the isolated rock formation create a dramatic and fascinating scene. Depending on the weather and the light conditions, the view changes constantly, which makes the space especially exciting. The viewpoint is easy to reach and ideal for a short stop along the coast. It is especially popular with visitors who want to experience the wild and untouched side of Flores and capture the dramatic coastline with their cameras. It is located on the south coast of Flores and offers a view over one of the most beautiful and remote coastal landscapes on the island. From here, you look down onto Faixa de Lopovaz, a fairy tale coastal plain at the foot of steep cliffs directly facing to the Atlantic Ocean. Right next to the viewpoint, there is a small forest that feels very jungle-like due to its dense vegetation. Mosses, ferns, and other moisture-loving plants shape the scenery and emphasize the untouched character of the place. Next to the parking area, there is a picnic tables, located with another small forest area. This forest feels especially mystical because of the old, twisted trees, particularly when light fog moves through. The climate here is generally very humid, which explains the intense greenery and gives the area an almost fairy tale-like atmosphere. Below, two small dark sand beaches underline the untouched nature of the fascia. Since access to the fascia is only possible via a hiking trail, the area remains very quiet and unspoiled. The viewpoint itself is easy to reach and perfect for spending more time, not only enjoying the view but also the unique atmosphere of the surrounding forest. This place is located in the interior of Flores and offers impressive views of two volcanic crater lakes. In its appearance, this viewpoint is very similar to Miraduro da Caldeira Negra e da Caldeira Comprida. Here as well, two differently shaped caldeiras lie close to each other and are surrounded by steep green crater walls. Caldeira Rasa appears flatter and more open, while Caldeira Funda is noticeably deeper and more dramatic. Both lakes are embedded in a typical highland landscape with dense vegetation, wetlands, and constantly changing weather. Fog and clouds often move through the area, creating a calm and slightly mysterious atmosphere. The viewpoint is easy to reach and makes perfect short stop while driving through the island. Just like the other caldera viewpoints, it gives a clear insight into the volcanic origin of Flores. As you can see, Flores is truly unique and absolutely a must for nature lovers. Of course, beyond my top 10 highlights, there are many more places to explore. In winter, there are hardly any tourists on the island, and in 2 weeks we probably didn't see more than 10 other travelers. But yeah, no crowding spots, no waiting times, just silence, nature, and you. For me, this trip will always remain unforgettable, and I am sure I will return to explore more islands of the Azores. By the way, have you been Flores or anywhere in the Azore Islands before? Let me know your experience in the comment below. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.